And that's a really good offer, right? Because it seems like when we talk to clients, a lot of times they talk about the how do I look for alternatives to VMware? How do I transition off of VMware? But a lot of times when we hear containers, we hear people talk about containers as part of their journey to the cloud. So now you've got an offering so that clients can go to containers and still stay on prem if that's a need or requirement for them.
Yeah, right. And with our engineered infrastructure, we run OpenShift on it bare metal. It was designed to run OpenShift. And the great thing about OpenShift is it gives you that container platform for really modern app development where you get this build once, deploy anywhere type of infrastructure. But you don't necessarily want to refactor everything away from virtual machines. There's a lot of stuff that you just want to lift and shift. And so that's where OpenShift virtualization comes in. With our Fusion HCI appliance, you're able to drop in both your VMs onto OpenShift and provide a container platform for new types of development environments so that your teams can just get up and running. And you asked me before about client example. I can give you lots of client examples here, I'll give you one. Financial services company decided they wanted to make OpenShift their strategic platform. Everything had been VMware up until then. They had a big VMware cloud, and they decided to stand up OpenShift next to it. And they chose Fusion HCI because of its turnkey bare metal capability for deploying this. And they got it up and running. And then they let their application developers start building on it. And then they realized they could start actually moving workloads to it. And they moved some of their most mission critical stuff over time. And they're up to 29, I believe, HCI systems at this point and still growing because they're moving more and more stuff away from that traditional environment. Most of it is being refactored to containers, but it doesn't all have to be, right? You can lift VMs into it. So it becomes a really good alternative. And one of the great things about Fusion HCI is we give you the day zero, day one, and day two all in a single box. So we've already figured out the size of the servers, the amount of memory, the number of processor cores, the amount of storage. We have the backup software built in. We provide DR capability, high availability. All of that is engineered in. So you don't need to, and the networking, you don't need to be an expert on how do I architect an OpenShift environment. We've done that for you, pre-tested with all the top operators for OpenShift. So that's ready to go. Day one, all the setup, that's all built in and simple, few clicks and you're off and going. And then day two, we manage all of the software stack updates, operating systems, firmware, storage, all the things. Because imagine if you're managing that whole stack yourself and you make a change to one of those software levels and suddenly there's incompatibility with, say, your storage CSI driver is now out of sync with that version of Kubernetes, you got problems. We take care of all that, make it really, really easy.